Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for coming to listen to me today about me, Geraldine Franklin. I want to talk to you today about my art world, my art education, and my art practice. There is no doubt that Carl Andre's Pile of Bricks back in the 70s caused a real stir. You know that expression, to get alarm bells ringing when you're out of your comfort zone? And standing by the sculpture, you turn to your friend next to you and moan about the fact that it's just a pile of old bricks. The onlookers feel put out, and they maybe feel as if they've been taken advantage of. Well, what do you think? But Carl did manage to bring our attention to building materials in a different context, the context being a gallery. He certainly got himself noticed, and to this day it still ruffles, you could say, a few feathers. The bricks challenge the viewer into thinking that why here? Is there anything profound? Indeed, does art need to be profound? Viewing old masters' art, the point is to see whether a likeness could be admired and the skill that the work possessed. What a difference between the two styles of working. At the tender age of 18, I enrolled in Plymouth College of Art to study for 3 academic terms, drawing, painting, and sculpture. This is no time at all to decide what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, or even potentially make a living as an artist. I loved the experience there with very capable tutors. They encouraged me to think and work in the most uncompromising of ways, which for me brought a lot of surprise and laughter. Did the teachers really encourage me to loosen up and accept the ability that I may have possessed, that I could enjoy a certain amount of freedom in the process of art making, and that the outcome would be worthy of praise? My goodness me. Well, this is exactly what happened. My delight using art materials kicked off, and I'm glad to say this has never really left me. My mantra is to enjoy the process of art making, that there is no right way of doing it. Art is not judged. Use art materials as if you're beginning again for the first time. What fun. There is fascination for me in this process, starting with a white piece of paper and then the freedom to cover it so that no white remains. I start on the road making a piece of art that will invariably change, will confound, amuse, arrest, dismay, unsettle, provoke, irritate, and then maybe even delight. Most of the time it's to do with acceptance. But why put myself through this, you may wonder? Surely art should be calming, a sort of therapy. Well, funnily enough, for 40 years I worked as an art psychotherapist, private practitioner in London, where using art materials here was anything but calming. I'll tell you about this another time. Suffice to say that in my challenge to make a painting, I strive for the aha moment, and only then I can sit back and relax, realizing that I may have produced a piece of work that may have some merit. Not always evident at the time, but put the piece of art away, come back to it later, and then reassess it and think, what was I doing here? And do I want to leave it as it is? If you would like to see more of my work, please look at Instagram, where there are regular posts coming to your attention. Some of them are sort of vlogs. Some of them are views of some of the walks I take. Some of them are places where I have been exhibiting in a group show locally or further afield. And basically I bring pieces of work to your attention. I'm also on LinkedIn, British artist, And my website is www.geraldinefranklin.co.uk. This is an online shop where you can purchase either originals or giclée prints. So, an original can be bought, which is more expensive, clearly, but a giclée print is a print from an original which can be printed up at any size, and it's obviously a lot more affordable, and it can be printed onto fine art papers or poster paper or canvas, and you will have a little bit of me in a slightly more affordable way. If you have any questions, I'd love you to get in touch with me. It's always great to get feedback from people as to what they're thinking. A lot of the people that do like my work talk about colour as my strength, and I like to think that the compositions are balanced as well as provoking. And of course, they're very free because my interest is in a mixture of figurative and abstract work. So there's a combination of the two pieces coming together. But the point is that there should be a joy in playing with art materials, a joy of expression. And of course, we're all unique and we all have something very different to say. Some people like to work in a very careful, painstaking way. Others like to have a sense of freedom and let it all out and have a very loose sort of piece of work with very vigorous brush strokes. So we're all very different, and that makes it such a wonderful world. But thank you again for listening, and please do get in touch with me. I'd love to hear what you thought. Take care. Bye for now.